I am sure sports. You know me there, I'm coast to coast representing. I mean, I say this is right as representing for Omar. You don't know, come get the sports over here from near and far. Boy. Me say I am sure sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. I am sure sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. If me not sure, that me not say it. Know who score, that me not say it. Never know the game play, that me not say it. If me never seen a game, me not know who play. For your sports news, better come over here so. For your soccer news, then come over here so. If you don't love sports, still come over here so. For the day done, you are gonna love over here so.
So when it comes on to behavior concerning football, Jamaica is decent. I am sure that if we can get all of these things done, set in place by the end of April, it gives us enough time before the World Cup campaign. Not afraid of no Brazil, no Argentina with these crap of players. We are good enough. Remember, like, subscribe, share. Listen, comment, let me know what your thoughts are.
Trick Jerk Marinade gives your meats and vegetables authentic Jamaican jerk flavor. The spices are directly from Jamaica. Spices like jerk seasoning, allspice, Scotch bonnet pepper, fresh scallions, thyme, ginger, and garlic. The key ingredients to a great jerk marinade. 0% sugar and low in sodium. You want to try it?
Made up of 18 Jamaican herbs and spices, add delicious, bold flavor to your next grilling experience. Flavoring sauce, a marinade, basting, condiment, or topping. Trick Nick Jerk Barbecue Sauce.
All right, good morning. Welcome to I Am Sure Sports. I am your host, Manningsman. Hope everybody is doing well. Hope everybody is doing fine. Hope you had a blessed weekend. Yes, and a good Monday morning. Though we have had some misery, as some would say, in football again. Given some results yesterday, we still give thanks because it could have been worse. Yeah. Not only that, we give thanks for life and life more abundantly. You understand me? And we say, if it had not been for the good Lord on our side, then where would we be? We don't take it for granted that we have life. We don't take it for granted that we have breath in our lungs. I want to greet you again and again as you join us for this show today. I will do my utmost best to keep it at a max 2 hours. So get on early, get the likes going. If you have not yet subscribed, please go ahead and also subscribe to the platform. Also share the content with someone else so we can have many people watching this also very important stream today. All right. We're going to talk about some EPL, some JPL. We're also going to talk about a social issue that I think I need to speak to. I'm going to do that on my shows. I'm going to take time to go through at least one social issue. We're going to talk about the failure of 3 of our teams in their quest to qualify for World Cups at the youth level, and what are the repercussions of these failures and the lessons that we can learn from them as a footballing people, and and just so we can move and just get better and grow out of these unfortunate, what I call, failure. We'll also touch a little bit on what is happening in the Triple C, which is the CONCACAF Club Championship, where this evening we will know who the opponent for Cavaliers will be, and if Lionel Messi will be coming to Jamaica. Know that there is a big push by the club Cavaliers to get tickets sold, and hopefully Mr. Rudolph Speed can join us at some point to kind of tell us how that can work. But there's a big quest for tickets to be sold before the game is played, so you can get it at a lower price, a discounted price. Meaning, if you wait until after the game is played and Cavaliers qualifies, and Messi ends up winning the game, and he's going to come and play in Jamaica, then the possibility exists that the price of those tickets could go a little higher because it's a once in a lifetime opportunity. So my word to you is, if you have faith and confidence that they will win, then go ahead. Yeah, man, go ahead and make sure that you get your tickets early. You get them before the game is played, because as soon as that final whistle is blown, you could see a significant increase in the price of those tickets for the game. All right. Again, make sure you hit the like button, make sure you subscribe, make sure you share the content. All right. We want that to happen. You know that, and some of you, it's been a minute since you have even given a super sticker or a super chat to the channel. Go ahead as well and drop a super sticker, a super chat to support I Am Sure Sports. All right. Go ahead and do that right now. Just, if you're able to, give a super sticker or a super chat. Or some of you say, oh, we don't support no money, we're not in business there. But you love the content and you listen and support the vloggers. You understand me? They don't depend on it for the sustenance of their life, but they're putting out content and they help you. Sometimes as you go through your daily chores to just have something else to focus on. As usual, we want to let me just big up the persons, Drew, aka Drew Ross, Drew Fortis. I told you that Champs is heading, to Red Hills Road this year. You understand me? Very good. Calabar team. You saw glimpses of that. I hope Bramwell gets better, because Nicoy Bramwell, he's a very important part of the unit up there at Calabar. And I want him, no more races, just recover for Champs and all the good medical practitioners who have served and been a part of the Calabar school. Please come in and come on board. Make sure that this athlete, we need him. Those points that he will provide, will be very important in Calabar, taking back the Champs trophy from those fellows up North Street. So big up, Drew. First responder. Yeah, bless up yourself, man. Good to see you. Been a minute since you have been around these sides. Good to have you. Paul Watkins, one of the regulars. Condolences to the family of Jeffrey Maxwell. Yes, indeed. Condolences to the Maxwell family. Jeffrey Maxwell, a stalwart in Jamaica's football, coach at so many different levels, including the senior level, had much success, developed many talents, and has not been doing well for a while. So, recently passed, and so condolences to the family and friends of Jeffrey Maxwell. Also see the leader. Today is the last day, he says, for early bird tickets. All right. Okay, that's good. DJ Sean Johnson says, are you going to talk about the Jamaica Tier 2 Championship? I will give some updates, but there's not much to talk about where that is concerned. KW says, bless up Mannings, man. TY, bless up yourselves, yourself. You know that TY, I keep telling this every time I see that goalkeeper who is Canadian, Jamaican, or Jamaican Canadian in the league. I think about you. He recently made his move from Portmore to Arnett Gardens, and He made some saves yesterday that kept Arnett Gardens in that game as they went on to defeat Veer in the JPL. Jason Calabar, man, you understand me? Bless up yourself. Mannings Calabar won't even come second, definitely not first. I think this friend of mine has not taken his medication. Jason, can you get brain drain to prescribe some more medication? I think he has run out of his medicine, so he didn't take it this morning because this is absolute madness that Drew Ross, aka Drew Fortis, is talking about. All right, yeah, man, big up DW. One of our longtime friends, AM Henry. You're how did you AM Henry? Hi, hey, AM Henry. I don't understand this right here. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. AM Henry, no, no, I'm very, I'm very concerned. So that was from the incident yesterday. No, that the event yesterday. I think I need to talk about that event. That was such a beautiful thing to see at that particular high school. Yeah, but beautiful thing to see. One Umbrella Sports Jamaica. Bless up yourself. Drew Ross, aka Drew. Did you take your SPA last year? You stated last year that they would have wow. Yeah, exactly. Not one wow, but they wowed. What happened? All right. All right. Yeah. Off the rails indeed. But I have a scripture that I want to share with you. As usual, just as a means of encouragement, this is taken from Genesis, the book of beginnings, Genesis 50, verse 20. I'm going to read from the New Living Translation. Right? It says, "You intended to harm me, but God intended it all for good. He brought me to this position so I could save the lives of many people." All right. So this is the story of Joseph. You know that Joseph was basically put in a very difficult position by his brothers who meant evil towards him. But what they were doing and considering it to be evil, God kind of used it so that they said Joseph that they were trying to get rid of would turn around and help them. And so in Romans 8:28, it says, "All things work together for good for those who love God and are called according to his good purposes." And so the whole point is that sometimes even the difficult stuff that people say about you and do to you, those things sometimes help to kind of make you better. And out of those things can come a lot of positive. I don't know if you have ever heard that if people throw lemons at you, make lemonade, right? There's a story about this man who had this donkey that he was trying to get rid of, and they tried many different ways of getting rid of the donkey, and the donkey would just not go away. They finally decided that they would bury the donkey alive, and so they dug a hole and they put the donkey in it, and every time they tried to pour dirt to cover the donkey in the hole, the donkey would shake the dust off and then use that to come a little higher. And they kept on throwing dust, and the more dirt they threw at the donkey, the more he shook it off and came up until he was back at the top of the surface. And so sometimes even when dirt is thrown at you, just shake it off, man, and come up a little higher. Let it be the stepping stone to bring you to higher places. And that's just my word of encouragement to someone today. I don't know who it is and where you are, but I just wanted to share that and be a blessing to someone today. All right. And if you like that thought, you can just hit the like button and you can put a thumbs up in the comment section. Listen, some of you, I know that you're undercover Christians or undercover believers, or you serve God, but you're doing it undercover, right? Yeah. my suggestion to you is that if you are, listen, you can send me a little voice note of a little thought. Don't make it long. And when I have my show, and maybe I'll do a show just for that, to put those thoughts there so you can be an encourager to someone else. Yeah, man. Definitely, it was very impressive. Ladies on the Hill um come through every time. Each school must have this event, and definitely. I don't know if I'm at liberty to mention the school name, but I think like it should be something that is done. It was such a powerful thing to see, fathers and daughters together. And I mean, just some of the stories of like a father flying from overseas just for this event to be with his daughter, and she just weeping. Such an impact because father figures, good fathers are so important in the life of children, in particular young ladies. So I think this was a big deal, and I think it sets a pattern and a standard for other schools to emulate and to replicate, in their own schools. Yeah, man. So, A.M. Henry, bless up, bless up. Up, man, is man. We need to take this non-qualification thing very serious. Definitely, I think that we all believe in a higher power, but trust in the church is in the church is very low. All right, Jeremy Lee, I would say listen to my services one Sunday, man, and tell me what you think. All right, but I want to just because this won't be long, probably go up to the 30 minutes mark, and then we get into the sports section. But there is a an issue that I want to speak to is about the housing solution across Jamaica. All right, and how difficult it is for young people, based on how salaries are structured in Jamaica, based on the amount of money that NHT gives you if you're single. And if you're married, you get, I think, like a max of $14 million. There's absolutely like no houses right now by the NHT that if you have a family, you can pay $14 million and live in it comfortably. None. If they are, someone would have to show me, right? And if even if you get a house of 14 million to refurbish it or to expand it to accommodate a husband and a wife and kids, it's going to be very difficult. All right. So therefore, if you especially in certain parishes where real estate is kind of booming, it's a booming investment industry in many parishes, including a parish like St. Anne. So like when houses come up in St. Anne, there are houses like available for, and these are like 2-3 bedroom houses for $1 million US. All right, I kid you not. In St. Anne, there are houses that are being sold like no more than 3 bedrooms for $1 million US on the beach side. All right, an average. I think when the Richmond and the Draxall estate, those they started at 12 and 13 million, and this was years ago, and 18 million and all the way up. If you go to buy in those places now, you're talking about a minimum of $40 million for the 2 bedrooms. Minimum of $40 million in the gated community. Now, in time past, there was a highway, the North Coast Highway. I think it's called the Edward Seaga Highway now, that runs from Caymanas to Draxall in St. Anne. I think there's some plans to expand that all the way down into Montego Bay. And so, from my understanding, there was a deal in place that kind of gave portions of land to the Chinese company Czech that was doing the construction of the highway, right? So they would be given portions of land running along the highway. Part of those lands now, for those of you who know St. Anne, where that power plant is, they call it Laughing Waters. So across from Laughing Waters, going back to the highway, all that land on the side where Duns River is at, all that empty land is now being developed by the said company, the Chinese company. All right. And I think it is good because development is important. Housing solutions are important. All right. So at present, the entry price. So, normally if you go in early, you can get it at a lower rate than when houses start to sell, because once they go on the market and you have to go in and buy, the prices are going to go up by like $20 million. So if you hear 80 million, 20, 60 now, by the time the first 10 are sold, you're talking about like 10 to $20 million added. All right. So phase 1 will start at 60, for example. Phase 2 will go to like 80. Phase 3 will go to like 100. And then it keeps on going up. And then many people will have access to buying like 20, 30 of these houses. And then what they do, they have the money to do it either through loans and stuff. And then they try to put them back on the market. All right. So this is the entry price. Like this is like if you were the first person before a plan is drawn to pay for one of these properties, the entry price for what I understand is a 2-bedroom house in this new development is $380,000 US. All right. All right. So you can, if you know otherwise, you can correct me, people. If it is 3-bedroom, but the units at the beginning stage is 380,000 US. The rate right now is 158, but let's go at 155 where it kind of like that stable price. So times 150. So entry price for a house, which is supposed to be available for the average Jamaican, is 57 million Jamaican dollars. Remember that NHT in total gives you around 14 million. So the average Jamaican, the teacher, right, for a 2-bedroom, the teacher, the nurse, the police officer, the other health workers, the librarian, the lab techs, the soldier, the chef in the hotel, the front desk operator at the hotel, will have to find, right, $43 million from a bank. Or say they have like 10 millions of it in their savings. They have to borrow $33 million from a bank. Again, this is on the first set of units. And this is if you like pay now, because now they are just cleaning the land. So if you pay right now, that is what you'd pay. But once like those things start going fast, most times the prices are not stable because demand, right, determines supply. It also determines price. So if the demand is more than the supply, then the price is going to go up. So by the time they complete the first phase, you could see one of these 2-bedrooms selling for 100 million Jamaican dollars. And this is supposed to be for average Jamaicans. 2 bedrooms with no land space, because you know how gated communities are. Well, Stefan, right? I can tell you that being where I'm at, I can give you, I don't want to call out the people's place, but I can text you the entrance price to 3 prominent gated community and what happened like 6 months after the construction. And I can tell you that where it wasn't 10 million, it was it's somewhere between 10 to 20 million. And listen, like, here's my thing. Like I said, that I'm in a space where I'm exposed to even the construction cost. All right? Because you know how some of these are built. Like, and I don't want to call communities name because this is people's business. But remember, a lot of these structures are not built with like our regular block and steel and that kind of a thing. They what they call them, the precincts, where they have these thing and they just drop them in there, and all of them are the same way. So it is less importation of material. So the cost for actually building the building is, because remember now, it's all right, let me say it this way. And this is my opinion, prefabricated. In my opinion, having been exposed to this, I don't believe the cost of building one of these, including labor, is above 20 million. And I believe that people should make profit when they do these things. So even if the building cost is 20 million, if you sold for 40, which is still too much in my estimation, you're getting double your investment. No, none of us can regulate how much markup a people put on, because at the end of the day, the only reason why people are building is because people are buying. So what is happening in the industry is a lot of the houses are not being bought. So the same, what is happening now is that the same group of people are buying the houses and selling them back. Or, as we have seen in many of the recent places, people in the States buy the houses and keep them for retirement, or if they decide to come back to Jamaica, or to keep them and use them as Airbnb or other rental facilities. But we have to find a way to do houses in safe gated communities that our teachers can afford, that our nurses can afford, that our doctors can afford, that the librarians can afford, that the front desk people can afford. We have to do that. We have to do houses that when our kids finish paying their student loan, they can pay reasonable mortgages and own their own homes, because that will keep a lot of our people in Jamaica. Like, I don't know why. I can't even tell you what. I guess because people know at the end of the day, the market is such a way that the truth is that there are enough Jamaicans living overseas who want to buy property in Jamaica. So they are going to be sold. Because there is a popular scheme that I know, a popular development, that most of the houses so far have been purchased. Have been purchased by people overseas. But Stefan, right, I hear you, but to be fair to the people who contribute to NHT, a lot of these houses, NHT has also even funded some of these housing development. So the people who contribute to NHT, there are cases where people will, in partnership with the NHT, where the NHT forward money, we heard of that recently, that money is used to build some of these houses and then sold back at these high prices. Now, this is a very, very good question, right? This is a very good question. I think if you can, you should buy it. Because imagine if you buy a house for 60 million today, and in 5 years' time it goes up by 15 million. You're in a good position. So if you can afford to buy it, It's real estate, and these are prime location. So the value of your property will always appreciate. Therefore, if you can afford it, it makes sense. It makes sense. I, good question again, because I have also heard the other side. Like when I think about a house in the States, right, and a house in Jamaica, like you can get 4-bedroom houses, 5-bedroom houses with multiple bathrooms and good sized property, right, for the kind of money. And I'm talking about in the suburbs and in certain states, for this kind of money, for 380,000 US dollars. Bigger properties, better properties. It's not just in, it's not just, boss, it's not just in Port St. Lucie. There are other places in the States that they can get 380,000 US boss can get your houses in a lot of places in the suburbs in the US. Without the crime, there you go. With greater resale value as well. So I think this is a serious issue. And so we don't have a lot of like people who are living in Jamaica who are homeowners. A lot of them are like inheritance. So if they probably got a house from their parents or grandparents, and they either added on to it or they redevelop it or something. All right, we had a caller. So let me just see if I can go to them. All right, so we go, and then we go move on from this social issue. This person send them the link. That's what I'm saying, Jason Gona. It's not just Port St. Lucie, Jerry, anywhere. Lots of places in the suburbs, boss. Way safer, way bigger house. You can have, if your kids play like football, you can set up your little, goal with your net there for them to play in the backyard. You have I know the whole having swimming pool and those things. All right. Well, yeah, Jeremy, I know you're going to tell me that where you commute to. But here's the thing. You can first find the house and you can find a job where the house is at, boss. That is what I'm saying. So, Jeremy Lee, if you find the house, you can find a job in the area because there is more job availability as well. So a lot of people in Jamaica are getting houses through inheritance, more so than purchasing. Or they are paying mortgages up to now and their kids end up continuing paying the mortgages. And we have to find a way to resolve this issue. We have to. And people don't tell me that, boy, you better build your own house. That in itself is the next piece of crosses in Jamaica, you know. I'm sorry that I use that kind of word, but I hope you understand what I mean. If you don't understand construction industry in Jamaica and stuff, the amount of cost overrun and thing and problem you're going to have with workman and work not done good and all those kind of things, you're going to have serious issues. But this is Mr. Sport down the middle, T-Got. I don't know.
Big up yourself, man. On the issue of housing, right? I'm going to tell you my experience in purchasing a house in here. And people might think...
You're not greeting the viewers.
Greeting viewers. Big up on yourself, viewers. Big up yourself, viewers. All right, let me tell you, man. All right, say you're married and have your family, right? And your kids are young and they're going to school. When you're buying houses in New York or on Long Island, you have to look on the school district. There are some places in Long Island, where the houses are big, cheap, and look good. But when you come onto the school district, it's very bad. So you're right. People say, oh, 300 and 400, it is good. But when you want, because when I was looking at house, I didn't look out for myself. I have to look out for my kids because they're going to kindergarten, um, middle school, high school, and then move on to college. And if you don't, if you're not in a good school district, you can't get the proper college to send your school. It's not like when you're in a Jamaica and you live at Portland and you can't send your daughter go immaculate.
Well, I know that. I know that district, but
yes.
I'm saying that even in the places, Stefan, I soon call you back. I want to finish with Tiga. I want to finish with Tiga. What I'm saying to Tiga, that even in those places, right, there are ways that you can, and you cannot convince me that all the schools in the district, right? Because in Jamaica, in the same way, if you buy a house in certain communities, when your kids take PEP, they're going to place them in those communities as well.
Right. But you can't, but you have contacts, so you can't go to Ministry of Education and move them.
Yeah,
in here, you can't move them none at all.
But I understand that. All right. But generally, and Drew is saying this, if you have a district where the schools are all bad, it's also a reflection of probably the district you're going to buy in. That's why I said in the suburbs. Didn't I say? I said
hold on. Drew,
there are many places in the suburbs. Go ahead, Tia.
What Drew is saying, no, sometimes the district is not bad, It's not really bad. It used to be bad. All right, say this then. So let me put it this. It used to be bad, and there's a transformation. But a lot of people move out already. And it's no teachers not going down there to teach and stuff like that. And the area just remain that way until like proper development and people start moving. All right. I was having this conversation.
Right. Thank you, Dean. Because not every state operate that way though.
Yeah, that's what I was telling about my hero. That's the first thing I was telling about my hero. Because everybody can come on my different. All right. As in the same process, I was speaking to somebody and they were telling me about their era. And they said the era got bad and the white peoples move out. Sorry to use that expression. But then he said they are coming back. So the era is going to get good. That's what he told me, So the white people are coming in, so the area coming in back. The area is going to get back, and they expect that everything's supposed to go up again. And I'm saying, in some area, you have some beautiful houses, Manning's man. I talk about beautiful houses, beautiful apartments, and stuff like that. But when you check the school district, it's 2, 3, and stuff like that. And I couldn't find myself going there because when I look at it, I'm saying I'm not buying a house for me. I'm buying my house for my kids for the next 20 years. You understand? So them can get a proper schooling in the district. So a lot of people might come on and say, yeah, houses there so for 300, but yeah, when you come on to the district is very, very bad. That's my little piece.
I understand that, because that's where you pay your taxes and all of that.
Yeah.
I do understand that. But even in that case, the value of the property, because you are convincing me that the schools are bad in the area, it will affect them going on to college. That is what you're saying. All right.
Definitely.
But the area is good. I from my experience, I've found that where the suburbs are, where the areas are generally good and less crime, the school districts are very similar. You are saying that there are areas where it is very good, but the schools are bad in the district.
In bad, right? Definitely.
I don't know about that.
Definitely, no, but I can give you. All right, all right. You can go on. Go on. Let's go on any one of the realtors place like Rocket Mortgage or anywhere to look at houses. Look house and you see the price of a house. When you see the price of a house, just go and look on the school district. Mark you. That's how you do it. When you see the price of the houses, just go and look for the school district behind it, and then you see what I'm talking about.
Tigat, I am not saying that is not a reality, but I am saying to you, Tigat, because I hear Jeremy Lee, like I don't like when people act like they're the only one who knows things in this. So let me give you. Hold on. Let me give you this.
Go ahead, my brother.
All right. So I can give you in Delaware. In Delaware, I can get 2 houses to buy for $380,000. And they are in good areas, good school districts. They're not in rich neighborhoods. Wilmington is a nice area. So I can name other places. So I don't, while it may be, while that may happen in New York, same thing in Florida, in Port St. Lucie, boss, which is a newly developed place and stuff. I mean, you can get houses for $400K with a lot of spaces, good everything and stuff. Of course, there are some other places where there are some negatives to that. Because not everywhere. I suppose there are places in Jamaica where you probably can get a house in Westmoreland in a gated community for $20 million. So there are some places where it may be different. That's all I'm saying. But what I know is that consistently.
All right. Hold on the money's man. As I said, Delaware, right? I went right to Zillow and get a house. $120,000 for the house. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom. It look modest. This might look modest.
Hold on, Stefan. Go ahead, Tiga. Yeah.
All right, so it's 120 for the house, a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. Understand? But when I go straight down and I look on the school that I'm telling you about, 4 out of 10, 4 out of 10, 5 out of 10. That's elementary, middle school, and high school. And this is in a good place. So this is what I'm telling you. You might see houses there.
But there's also private school.
One is that will defeat by the purpose.
No.
Because the money we're going to send is the money we're going to send.
No, Tiga.
Well, you see, in Delaware, the same place, house selling for 87,000, 80,000, 109,000, 145, 79,000. You can't put Delaware in one place to go live, brother.
What do you mean? There is no place to live?
You know,
you believe
you can't put you can't. All right, when you look at that,
Tiga, but you're using. You see, here's the issue now with America that you need to understand that you can't compare places like Jacksonville, as an example, with Long Island. Come on. We're talking about Delaware, boss.
But
Delaware
but you just use it, but just go look it and tell you. But I'm just saying, and it's in this here. I'm just saying. I'm married, and then and then again, man. Then again. The all right, say the hoses. Hold on, the hoses make hold on.
Stigat, hold on, man. I'll Stefan.
Sorry.
So
Apologize.
Stefan.
Apologize.
Yeah, man. Morning. You hear me clearly?
Yeah, man. I'm here. You hear him, Tigat?
I'm here.
Yeah, man. Go ahead, Stefan.
Yeah, man. So, good day, money, and your guest on the phone.
Yeah, man.
I agree with most of what you're saying. However, I still agree. I still hold to the purview or the point of view that the NHT for us has the mandate to provide affordable housing solutions for lower and middle class earners, middle income earners. Right? You know, I understand the point you're making earlier in regards to the increased amount in terms of the prices per building, right? Because I remember this popular scheme that's done by the West in Hanover. I remember just before COVID, I went there to look at the properties that they had. It was a 3-bedroom at the time, right? And at the time, it was selling for $19 million, right? Now, 2 years subsequent to that, the cost skyrocketed to about $40 million for the same 3-bedroom. You understand me? However, there are areas, especially new schemes, right, that is somewhat affordable for I would say middle income earners, right? And the fact of the matter is, I think the NHT needs to do more for persons who are purchasing properties by themselves. Now, I'm in a particular situation where I was able to purchase a property by myself. So, and you're only getting 7.5 million, right? Based on my line, I was able to do that by myself at the time. But the reality is not many individuals will be in that position, right? And I mean, it is, and ideally, you can get a proper house. As you said, that is conducive for you to raise a family for 7.5 million. It is absolutely non-existent money.
Yeah.
You understand me? And I think NHT itself has that mandate to provide affordable housing solutions for middle and low income earners. Because I remember when I was at a particular branch of NHT, I was speaking to one of the sales reps, and I was saying to her, at the time it was 6.5. I was saying to her, so why you guys don't increase the amount to give for persons who are purchasing properties by themselves? And she said, well, once we go ahead and increase that amount, the developers are going to increase the cost for the property anyway. You understand me? And the reality is, management is the market is what drives the cost of these properties. Because as I rightly said, persons from overseas are investing in properties out here because they know that within 2-3 years' time, if in a mine shop, they can double what they paid for the property. And it makes it even worse if they have paid for the property via cash. So that simply means you can sell back at any point in time and get a profit.
Yes.
You understand me? So as I said, not many persons would be. I purchased my property I'm in my early 30s, right? And I purchased my property about 2 years ago. You understand me? And I'm telling you, man, not many persons that would be able to do that out here if you're not earning a significant amount. Because the mortgage alone is double, triple some persons' rent. You understand me? So I'm saying, man, to me, the mandate has to be on the NHT to provide affordable housing because I can't tell a developer how to cost his property because he is ultimately in the business of making profit.
Yeah.
You understand me? And as I mentioned, not only the premix in terms of how they are, in terms of the new way of constructing houses, there are houses now that they are just using drywall on the inside and concrete alone on the outside.
Yes.
You understand me? And I'm telling you, man, these properties are going for $20-30 million. When I bought my property management, let me tell you something really quick. On the site, even when I went up there, persons will tell me that, they closed application, they finished accessing the application, and the properties are done. And I'm like, John. But eventually, a year after they closed the sale for the property. For that phase one. A year after, I was there looking at some of the apartments. But I really didn't want an apartment, but based on where I work, and it will continue from the first stuff. And I was speaking to a realtor, and she said to me, she pinched me and said, I have a detached unit selling. And I said, really? After the size of the property was a two bedroom. And she told me, I said, this sounds interesting. So I then went ahead and looked at it. And as I said, inside of me, I said, yeah, I'm interested, right? And then she said to me, all right, just give me a few, I'll get back to you within a week. Now, luckily, I had another thing prepared and everything. So when she got back to me, I was able to just sell everything and they accepted the offer. So, man, when I looked at who was selling the property, I was totally surprised because the same developers.
There you go. Exactly. That's what I was saying earlier. So, like the people buy a bulk of the property, wait until the prices go up, and then put them back on the market.
That is exactly what they did. Same developers bought the property, bought 1 or 2 or 3 of the property, held on to the property, and then because I paid for the property about 2 or 3 million more, and it was just within less than a year.
Yep.
Within less than a year. So I bought the property, same lot size, same structure, everything was nothing that was different to the property. And when I looked at the person who was selling the property, man, same developers tell you the same property about $2 or $3 million more than the cost, the initial cost, about within just a year. development of the property money. You understand me? So it is a serious problem, and I understand the plight because I said, not a lot of persons. I work with a lot of persons, and I know a lot of persons, but in my age, group, and some of them killing them people in the parents' house, and it is very, very, very difficult.
Yep.
For you to pay 600,000, 300,000 Jamaican dollars on a mortgage money.
Yeah.
And those are what? That's the cost of a mortgage you're looking for a 20, 30 million dollar house. Right? And a house that is conducive for people who is in the mindset of raising a particular family under a certain condition. You understand me? So to me, management, I think ultimately the mandate falls clearly at the foot of NHT. Because when I look at some of the properties that NHT, I remember NHT one time was selling some property by, I don't remember where it is, right? Some tower, I think they call it something like a tower. A 20 and $30 million for them in the money. So who are they really taking?
That's my point. Even the construction that NHT involved in, that is the same thing. But I see
that is ridiculous money. Yeah.
But I see I have a next call coming in, but you made some very good point. So let me just take one. But big up yourself, Stefan. Yeah, man. I'm sorry about earlier. I wanted Tiga to finish.
Oh, yeah, man. That's fine. Yeah, man.
All right. Yeah, man. All right. So we have Smart Choice. Go ahead and then Jeremy, you need to call in and DJ Dean Brown and give him a point. All right. Miguel, welcome to the show.
Yeah, what's up, my name's?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Thank you, man. My name's, I don't know. You see, it's this tribalist thing that is really politically, which is killing Jamaica in every aspect. You understand? NHT apparently is not in the business of providing affordable housing. You understand? They're in the business of collecting these funds, and then politicians use them for whatever political leverage that they want. You understand me? I remember
Miguel, hold on, Miguel. Oh, you're gone so far. You don't have no proof. You have
no, but it's true.
But Miguel,
no, of course you have proof, man.
Miguel.
Hold on.
All right, I'm going to let you talk and then
What about that monies? What about the monies that were taken out? You don't remember? The monies that were taken out, I think it's 2005, was towards some that I think PJ was the first person. I don't remember who was the prime minister then. Took that money out from they keep going in the NHT money for other reasons. Whenever they're in power, they keep going in taking that money out for other reasons than housing. You know that.
Okay. So listen, there are two things we have to say. So both political parties here said they have used funds in the NHT for other things outside of constructing homes.
Yes.
Houses. All right. So I just want to make sure that is the point that you're making.
Houses.
Okay.
Of course.
I just want to make sure you understand me. Yeah. Because
on top of that, these executives are being paid millions of dollars every year living luxurious lives. You understand me? And not catering to the primary reason.
Which executive? Are you talking the executives like
of NHT, of the National Housing Trust?
All right. So here's where you and I differ. If a person is being paid and their qualification and their work demands that be their salary, I don't have a problem with that. So if you are working at the NHT and you demanded a salary equivalent to the US that you get right now, and that works out to be 60 million Jamaican dollars, I don't have a problem with that as long as you're doing your job, and that is what the job offers.
So are they doing their job, management? Are they doing their job, management? Yeah, if they were doing their job, we wouldn't be having this conversation right now, management. The funds was designed to help people who don't have lump sum money to go and build houses. You understand me? To help, it's a fund. So everybody puts into it. It's like a partner. So to make housing more affordable to the regular citizens of the country. And that is not being done.
No,
you understand me? Not to mention the bureaucratic process.
No, man, here's what
I put people through.
I agree with you. Here's where you and I agree. I agree with you that the funds that they have taken out of the NHT should remain in the NHT for the purpose that it was established for, which is the construction of homes. We agree on that. No,
affordable.
No, man, affordable. Listen, here's what I say. If the NHT cannot give people more than $14 million, the houses that they build should not be sold for more than 14 million. So the people paying by the NHT so other people can get it and not having to go to a bank. No, people can go and upgrade and borrow from the bank. But if it is $14 million, the NHT, they need to construct homes that people can use their NHT loan and purchase. Here's where now you and I are different. I cannot talk about what a person earns unless and say that they don't deserve what they're earning if I don't know what is required of them. So when you say that the executive arm of the NHT, they live in luxurious lives, first, we don't know their salaries to know if it is their salaries at the NHT that
it's public information. We can check it and come back.
So all right, I want you to check and tell me one of the highest executives at the NHT what their salary is, and if that is what is affording them, according to you, to live a luxurious life, and also that they are not doing anything. Because
my point is, my point is this, Mannings. I think you took the minor point and put it to major.
But I just I agree with you on one thing,
point,
Go ahead.
Yeah, but in terms of the salary, that is like the minor point. My point is, even if you're being paid $1 when you deserve $5 million, that's not the point. You took the job. Once I accept a job, if me accept a job, brother, me I do it to the best of my ability. Yeah. You understand me? And I'm not, as a Jamaican and who have paid thousands of dollars in this trust, I have not seen where the trust is fulfilling its mandate.
And you and I agree. I said that I agree with you on that. What I cannot categorically do and state is that the executives at the NHT are getting all of the NHT money to live luxurious lives. Hold on.
But that is the minor point, bro. It's their performance that is the major point.
No, so here's the thing. Also,
forget about how much they're getting.
All right. So secondly, it's not minor because secondly, when it comes on to their performance, right? We have to look at executive arm. Am I the person in the executive arm that needs to see that a house is built there? Is that my role and function? Because there may be different persons and different things involved in the process. No, you could be very right, because I'm not saying you're wrong. All I'm saying is that when we say these things, we must be able to say, listen, all right, the person at the NHT, that should be their core function. And in the last year, they have not done this. And and then we can say, you know what? You are right. I just think unless we have those things, we cannot necessarily and categorically then state that this is the case. But their mandate is right. Their mandate is to provide affordable housing. And I don't think they are doing that.
Company who dictates the direction in most cases. I mean, of course, you have government role to play where that is concerned. I'm not going to negate that fact. You understand me? Fine. But I have to say executives because they are the head of the organization, bro. They can also influence the direction the government take also.
Yeah,
precisely.
because
when I say executive, it is a broad term. I'm not specifically referring to anybody.
But that's all right. There you go. Because remember now, Sure Improvement said something. That means the employees are not doing their job, which is what people could walk away from. That mean seeing that if as long as there is not affordable housing, no one at NHT is doing a job. So everyone at NHT, and we can't. I don't think that is really.
No, but who said that just now? Somebody will think to a different channel.
There you go. And which is what? Because we have to look at the court. Because there may be one person or two person, who it may be the department of the government that could be also affecting the process. It could be the area that covers land that doesn't provide adequate land for the people. I don't know. We need to know what is happening though, because you're making a valid point. Their core mandate is to provide affordable housing.
And-
Where are the
Right.
houses?
And you know what happened? You know who are the biggest failures where these agencies are concerned?
Yeah.
We, the people. We, the people.
How are the
You
people?
understand me?
How are the people feeling?
We spend time. We don't hold government accountable, bro. We don't hold government accountable. You understand me? And I start my conversation with this tribalistic behavior because at the same time, if I right now try to talk out against the JLP who is in power, I'm gonna be automatically labeled as a PNP. And same goes vice versa. Had PNP been in power. You understand me? We the people need to have at least some basic principles that we agree on. Fine, we will have our bias when it comes to politics, but we have to have some basic things that, regardless of whatever political lines is drawn, we must agree on certain things. You understand me?
Yeah.
I know teachers teaching for 20 years and cannot afford an NHT house. That is ridiculous, bro. That is ridiculous. You understand me? I've worked for years in Jamaica, and since we migrate, I was able to buy a house.
There you go. There you go.
You understand me?
Yeah.
So it's ridiculous, brethren. We need to start holding these people accountable. The other day, I don't mean to prolong your show on this thing. I mean, it's a sports figure, but the thing is,
you know that I
Yeah.
really was supposed to do this in third, but it got fast and no. But go ahead, man, and then I'll talk to
but
you.
this is what I appreciate about you, though, because you don't really keep. You understand me? Because
Yeah.
these things are also important,
Very
right?
important.
No, right? No, the same thing goes for even the gas tax. You understand me? The other day, I was wondering. A lot of us are the people in Jamaica paying this additional amount of money. You remember this gas tax? They're supposed to go towards road maintenance and thing, right? I could be wrong, but I was wondering, we borrow money to fix the road, but yet we're paying gas tax. So that to me could be like it's a double payment. You understand me?
Yeah.
So where is the gas tax money going? I'm not saying any foul play is happening, but the government need to be a lot more transparent with people, brethren. And we need to hold these people accountable. We just accept everything that they push on we because we support them. And we just oppose everything because we don't support them. That's ignorance, brethren. We need to find more time. You understand me? All these people on TikTok and then please curse each other. And all of a sudden in Jamaica, I realize that SYM is one of the biggest talk. Everybody tell each other SYM, SYM. So what happened to the government? They don't forget to S, they don't have mother too.
No matter, no
matter foolishness.
No matter go down the road because other people doing it.
But what
don't
I'm
mean,
saying is that
eh?
but what I'm saying is that I'm not saying literally do it, but I'm saying that why don't we turn some of our frustrations on the government because they need to be held accountable. Oh, that mess, my brother.
All right then.
I go and listen.
Yeah. All right, big up. All right. Who is this now? Let's see if we can take a next one. And then we need to move on. Hello.
Man.
Yeah, man.
Good evening. Good morning, sir. Good morning. Thanks for calling me back.
Yes.
I was listening to your conversation about the housing.
Yes, sir.
And first, I must say to you, this is a good thing. Regardless the crisis in Jamaica, right? I think we should do something about it, something real serious about it. If people is playing into it and cannot you call it, get a house, how does this happen? If you are paying to NHT or whatever you want to call it, and you can't, afford a house.
Well, I
Is
think
there something
the
done right now?
NHT will tell you that they can lend you money, but the money may not be enough. So some people use the money to buy a piece of land. You understand me? I really like it's like, so I don't know what can be done about it. If you're contributing to this because people will check, some people after 10 years and probably pay depending on what the salary is. You could probably after 10 years pay close to $10 million, and if you go for a loan, you're not going to get that in NHT contribution. So, like I said, what can the people do? Because it's not like you cannot not pay it. You have to pay NHT contribution from your gainfully employed. Or you, even when you operate your own private, you're supposed to. It is mandatory.
Mandatory.
Yes.
Wow.
That you paid. So it's not like you can be working for a company and you tell them you're not contributing to NHT.
You don't have a choice. Wow.
No. Because even if you're a private business, if you have your own company, you're supposed to do it as well.
But everybody pay into this. Once you have a job, once you're working, you have to pay into NHT.
Yes.
It's like
yes.
social.
Yeah, it's like that. It's one of those mandatory tax. From
okay,
it, that is
okay.
out of your salary and a monthly
Well,
or
it's
a
not fair than
basis.
Mannings, man. It's not fair than Mannings. If the average man at work, right, 10, 15 years, are paying.
The only thing, like I say that, the only thing is that if you're not paying a mortgage, right, this is next ridiculous. So if you're not paying a mortgage, every year you can get a refund, which is they give you back a portion of what you contributed if you're not paying a mortgage.
Back to you?
No.
Wow.
Every January you can apply to get the refund for like I think they had it for 2017. This year you could, I don't know, you probably could have get back your contribution for 2017. That's if you're not paying a mortgage. But that is just a portion of what you have contributed. But that's not even beneficial anyways.
You have to apply for it.
Yeah, you have to apply for it. It's not automatically. So if you don't get it. And if the year passes, it's gone. Yeah, and I hear that it's like 7 years in the back or something like that.
It is something that we all need to do. But let me ask you this now. What if you have a steady job, right?
Yes.
You have a steady job and you work, but you never have a house. And then you say, all right, this man has been working at this place for 10 years. And in coming in and I try to get a house. Is there like a program where they try to work with you? For low income or anything like that?
Well, there are low income houses. I understand that. That is if the government build, like there used to be like the food for the poor houses, where if you have a piece of land, like in a squatter land and the people give you a thing, you can get a food for the poor house. I don't know, or the government build a house for you. One of them local shop the kind of a business, but there is housing is a serious problem in Jamaica, boss. I don't know, but there's just
right. You touch about the people overseas that come and buy up the house, then, all right? So if the price is low, but the people overseas that come and buy it up, right? It leaves little money. It leaves little money.
That is it. That is it. Because what happened is that the reason exactly because so one of the things is that these people know that the man overseas to pay 50 million for the house in Jamaica is not a lot for him because he probably has a good job in the States and he can probably sell one of his properties and buy this and probably have some money, knowing that he can resell it or he can use the mortgage because he already own a home. Like home ownership in Jamaica is beneficial to the man who already have a home that he's not paying mortgage on. But the person, like I said, that you look at a young lady or a young man coming out of UTech or UE right now or NCU or MICO or Caribbean Maritime Institute, one of those places, wanting to, they get a good job, want to buy it's going to take them some years unless they get married and both of them combine have good jobs, and they're probably going to struggle unless they come into some wealth from their family. And like I said, some people are fortunate enough that they got some land from their family, prime real estate that they can build, or they got some houses and they kind of refurbish and stuff like that. But a lot of people in Jamaica can't afford a home for their family.
You touch on something I want to go manage, man. You get a little piece of money from NHT and you go buy the land, right? You have to pay back that loan to them, right? With interest, right?
Yeah, but yeah. So you have to pay. Yeah, man, you have to pay. But remember, it's lend them a lady the money, you know, the money that you're paying, you know.
Yes. You go next place, right? And you get a loan from a bank, right? And you get a loan.
All right, hold on. Somebody's saying that the money don't go away. Oh, you can apply for years in the back. You get back your full money. Okay, so what you're saying, Chappy Boy, that anybody who has paid NHT like in 2015 can still apply and they get back all the money that they contributed to NHT. So you're saying that, just to be clear, because this is revelation. So you're saying that when a person, so Kevin is saying it. So when you apply, what you get back is all the money you paid for that year. Just to be clear.
I'm a cousin with the NHT, never call out with
them. All right.
But no, so I
so if Kevin, I think right? Kevin, all right, so it's very good. All right, so I'm going to hear from Kevin because Kevin is saying yes. So you can get your refund. What Kevin is saying and Chappy Boy is that you can get back all the money you contribute from NHT. All right. So I will verify that. Yeah. But boy, yeah, man.
It's good to have a record of it, man. You understand? It's good to have a record of how much you're paying every year. Keep the record to yourself. You understand?
Yeah.
A mistake can happen. But
you can always go on your pay slips because it's normally on your pay slips.
Enough man know that's an pay stub. It's very, very, that's everything. The people record enough, right? I have a box about 15 years of everything in it. But look, I heard you touch on the states, right? And this is what I want to say to you. It's not the same everywhere. But yes, you put points, right? Because I live in Washington, D.C. area for 28 years, right? And majority of us actually work in D.C., right? I live in Maryland. Most people did not want to live in D.C. back then, right? They just moved in Maryland, right? And close by next year, and you drive back to work. I was fortunate. I only stayed 15 minutes, right? So right beside of the White House, and I drive to work 15, 20 minutes every day. It's nice everything. But people who don't want to live close to the city, right?
Yeah.
Don't have a choice. In order for them to make a living, they were born in the countryside. They have to commute 2 hours up to DC every day, back and forth, just to make a living, right? I have a couple of folks from up by where me at in Georgia County, and they want a house, couldn't afford 100, they drive down to Baltimore, 45 an hour and a half every day, just to back and forth to work, right? Because if they choose to live on the house they want to buy, they can't afford it which part them live. So yes, you did touch on some good point, but it's not the same everywhere, right? In Australia here where I live at, right? I love mango tree. I love mango. So every time I drive and I see a mango tree, I stop and ask some question and I beg mango. Wait for that, I beg mango. Lots of time, a Caribbean people them and they live way out by the city, way out like some 2 hours and then drive to work. So it's up to you what you want, you understand? And what suits your needs.
Yeah. Good point. You made some good point. All right. Big up yourself.
Yeah, man. Cool. Big up yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. So let me let me take who else was calling? I think I had Kevin was calling. Let me get Kevin. And then last call on this matter because interesting. I want to even work at NHT. No, he never said the mango tree in DC. I don't think he said the mango tree in DC either. DW, Coach Boris Johnson, bless up yourself, people, RR, welcome. Make sure, all right, not getting that one. That's funny. Oh, I was just going to hang up, Yes, sir, you were saying that. I know you were calling in. But you're saying that people get all. Yeah, go ahead. You go.
My problem is this: NHT don't build enough houses. If you look apart from the scheme that they built uptown with the high-rising apartment with themselves for much millions, every other NHT scheme that has been built were really in prices where, like, if you look on over places like what them call it, Phoenix over in Spanish Town there, those go for 7 million, which were starter houses and other places, and you have some of them will go for like 11 and 10. The problem with NHT, they don't build most of these houses. Them allow private investors to come in and buy the cheap land, and then those persons build them and sell them for 30 and then 40 and million dollar. And man, it's that my problem. NHT needs to do better as it relates to them. But now, like, brother, NHT can do way more better. Them allow private investors to buy up too much of our land, and I do this in Jamaica, bro.
Yeah, but can you stop the private investors from buying the land because the NHT don't own the land?
Well, all of that too, but NHT, the lands that NHT, well, man, is government who own much land in Jamaica, make NHT use them up then nothing. Why you have to sell private investor land over places like if you look now where the if you look on Silver Sun and them place there, those were government land, so why them sell them to private investors? Them foolish system in a rate. And I don't care which government.
Okay, that's what I mean. You're saying that those lands that the government giving to private, selling to private investors. Why the NHT don't buy some of those lands then?
Exactly, my brother.
Cut them up in lots, and so people, if they say that we're gonna buy the land but we can't build the house. Buy those lots then. Eh?
Exactly, that's what I'm saying, manins. Those are the lands that NHT for buy. Private investors are buy the land them cheap and I build them and sell them back where we the citizens of the country cannot buy them. It's just the truth, manins.
Okay.
And NHT should do better as it relates to this. But as the refund that we were talking about, yeah. I get back my exact refund that I paid in 2017 this year. I get back the exact that I paid in 2017.
Okay.
That's what they.
So even though they are saying they are doing 2017, a person could still get their 2013 contribution.
Yes, if you did not apply for a matter of fact, in when 2015, well, I did apply for mine from 2011 and I get back all of it. So because I did not apply until 2015. I started applying for them and I get back all of my contributions.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah, man, you can get it back, man. But brother, NHT need to do better and build more housing scheme, brother. NHT and make them private investors do too much, and that are the problem with we in Jamaica, brother. The private investor them, bro, the man them buy the land them cheap manins and brother. When you look the land them at the house, them go for 30 and 40 million. Oh God, man, them can do better money. Them can.
I think so, boss. I think so,
bro. It wicked, bro. It wicked, man. I lie, bro.
So people are like if a man grew up in a particular community and say, listen, no, I have a family, I want to move out. I would prefer to live in a gated community and thing. You can't afford it in most of the places, boss.
But to be honest, me I thought this for national TV.
National TV.
Yeah, I thought this was worldwide, but
I love that.
Me personally, bro, me rather invest, me rather encourage a man to buy a repo house.
Yeah.
You will probably get back a repo house that will take some time to fix up. Cause bro, that me do. I don't go where I could afford a house in Jamaica while I own one today.
Yeah. Like when I say repo, you mean like the houses that people feel on there. Boy, some time, you know that. All right, so I've had some of those things, you know, where people, I feel bad about that, you know. People,
yeah, but
like NHT sell back the people the most because they can't pay their mortgage. NHT and the bank sell back the house them. If the people can't pay the mortgage and fall on hard times, them think they're tough still, you know. But I do understand what you mean, though.
Yeah, my father, I understand it, but the truth is just the truth, brother. I can't afford one, and if I get one away there, what me I go do? I have to just take it and do my best, don't it?
Yeah, that is true.
Because bro, when you look on it, bro, just the truth. $7.5 million for one person. To want to combine 15 million and you still can buy a scheme house because a $26 million go or sell one.
And it also depends, and you know, so it depends on the age as well. Because remember now,
exactly.
Yeah, up to a certain age, you know, I tell you, you know, because
the the thing with the age thing.
It's about the years you get to pay back and all of those things. Says
no, them do a thing with the age thing now, you know. With the age thing now, like say for instance, you're 50.
Yeah.
You will get $3 million, $3.5 million free. You understand? Them gear that. So you won't pay back for that $3.5 million.
Okay.
You get what I get? Yeah. So you will get, so for instance, you will not get the 7 million, but you will get like say 5.5 and you have to pay about $2 million mortgage. You get what I say?
Yeah.
That may not have a problem with, but bro, the $7.5 million too small for your young people, brother. And when you look at them private investors, you're looking at money.
Yeah, because you think about it, some of the houses that you see out there, you have your wife now, and say you have 2 kids, boss, a boy and a girl.
Oh God, man, you have to get money.
Yeah, like you probably need a 3-bedroom at least at some point, you know.
But the truth is, man, if you and your wife combine and still can't go pay for one bedroom house, man, it's oh God, man. That's right, yo.
Yeah, 1 bedroom to back.
Bro, it's working, bro.
And I tell people, you know, Jamaica people.
1 bedroom. Man, is a 1-bedroom apartment, 1-bedroom house, apartment in a Portmore already for $17.8 million in money.
But yeah, they are robbed. You can't tell us some house at Ochi right now for $1 million.
Oh God, man.
People think a joke.
Bro, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, bro. And while NHT, when them belows, you will get one starter house, 1 bedroom for $7 million, bro. I better them take it government land them and do that and start making man them buy them out, brother. Because when you look at proving on them big places when them buy out the government land them cheap, and when you look at the one house for 30 at 40 at bill, man,
this is what I'm saying, that the government, seeing that it is a government land, because remember, you know, they're paying, you know, they're paying way less for the land, you know. Because especially the farmland.
Yes. Both sides of government are doing it because the whole of them have them friends. The whole of them have them friends where they must sell land to. And that's the problem we're killing with. That is what killing us in Jamaica. This nepotism thing with them friends, them where they must sell up the land, them brother. Check how much of them politicians are investor where build much property and I sell them back money. The whole of them are doing it.
Yeah, that is the thing, bro.
It's ridiculous. And a true, a time for we as people start burning them out on it, bro. It's ridiculous, brother. I tell you the truth.
Yeah. Some serious things.
Yeah, big up yourself.
Yeah, man, big up yourself. And people, this was a very worthwhile conversation, you know.
Well, bro, yo, I love that topic here, bro. Something like this, people to highlight them thing here, brother. Foolishness that go on, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, all right, Kevin. Bless up every time, man. Yeah. See, people, sometimes I know that we're supposed to talk some football, I think, but this came up and I think it was important, and so we have discussed it. I hope, you know, it was beneficial to you. And that was just like the last topic on the thing. So let's see if we can go through the rest of things that we have here. DJ say I get a headache. Says, make we stop. I am getting a headache. We can't burn them out with remote action. You always say that we basically need action. This one says, not everyone can get their money up. A semblance of equity is needed. Thank you, Granny Rebel. I think because Papi and Boss said, get your money up and tapping eyes. Yeah. Yeah, not to mention some of the baller them and some of the sports people them. Shared ownership schemes for essential work. That's a good idea because I know, like, even in certain states as well, they have like military houses that they build for military people, family. Like some of those things, I think like there should be sometimes like here's one of the things. It's like your teachers, your nurses, like certain essential workers. It's when you build these places, even government need to have a policy that certain categories of people should be able to get houses in any scheme. First time homeowners, because what I don't want is for multiple, like a policeman want to buy a house in every scheme because they get special benefit. You understand me? Big up yourself, Miguel. Thanks for this. Thank you very, very much. Super sticker. Big enough. Yeah. All right. So, right. So here's what needs to happen. When they build like a scheme somewhere or there's a development, allocate like 1%, 5%, 2% of those houses for essential first-time home owners. So a teacher who don't own a home can get one of those at the NHT 15 million max. You understand what I mean? A police can get that the first time. So if they have a house already, they have to go to the original price. But as a first-time home owners, and then all of these places, man, you have to have something for people who are between a certain age group. Or somebody saying that happens now? No, man, them not get it at no different price, boss. What different price? DW, have to tell me about that. Thanks. Hey, Granny, as well. But you, because me know say then at the chat and you're a police, you're a former police, you know. You make me say that, you know, because so you're a former police, you know, so you make me say that. But let me tell you why I brought up the topic. Because again, I brought it up. Oh, the effects are not working. Oh, the effects are not working. We never did know that, man. All right, then we'll sort out the effects then. I want to go on with the effects then. Man, them said the effects not working, you know. I don't know. I soon sort them out. All right, I soon sort out the effects. But let me say this, right? If that is happening with the hotel workers, I am unaware. But I think like teachers and those people should be getting these things. Why I brought up this topic? Because there's a development, like I said, on the highway that's happening in St. Anne. And the first phase, the houses, 2 bedrooms are going at 380 million Jamaican dollars. 380 million. No, 380,000 US dollars, sorry. 380,000, which is around 60 million Jamaican dollars for a house, 2 bedroom. And this is land that was donated to the Chinese for the construction of the highway that Jamaica actually pay for. So I don't understand. I think part of the payment for the highway it was to give them land for development. I don't even know both government and thing. That is Edward Siaga. That is why I brought it up. But let me just say this, right? EPL action today. Let me just give you some EPL action. For those of you who I'm just doing this for the other fan because my team out of it, you know. This is Liverpool's oh, this is a good one. Do I have any connection to lobby for change? All right. So I was at a high school yesterday and there was a presentation from a CEO of a financial institution in Jamaica. And they were, they're making the point about people, the importance of financial management and savings and all of that. And so I shared my views, which is, I think what needs to happen. And this is what I shared. We let's say Jamaican, because we are Jamaicans, right? Most of us here are Jamaican. We are Jamaican. So I think for too long, we have operated on a one culture basis. No, not Paradise yet, man. This is a new one that they're just cleaning off the land out by where Duns River is. All of that land, all the way back to the highway, across from Laughing Waters, right? To the roundabout right there. All of that land is housing. All right, all the way up to Heinz, all over those places. So, the presenter was talking about, just how kids need to save and how parents need to do budget and teach their kids how to budget. And everything was geared around getting a job and saving, working, having money to save and stuff, and investing, and how parents need to invest so they can take care of their kids. And I'm there sitting and I'm saying to myself, like, we have become so one-sided in the culture of generational wealth that too often all we talk about is building up our kids to go and work for somebody. We don't train and teach them from 8 years old to use their giftings and their skills to begin to generate their own wealth, which is something I think as Jamaicans we need to do. We need to look at our sons and our daughters. Maybe you have a son or a daughter who they like to play games and stuff like that. Maybe they can start working on creating their own games online. Or you understand me? So I was saying that to them, and I went on to make the point, which is a very salient point, that what a lot of these banks need to do who go into these schools and do these presentations, because there was a time when they used to come in and tell kids to save. You remember, some of you would have been in some primary and prep schools, and they would have come in there with these bank books, and then you'd bring your coins on a Friday or a Monday, you'd lodge it. Where, by the way, where is all of that money that we used to save back in those days? What happened to them? Did you ever get yours? Anybody ever get you got when you got to adulthood? Did you go into the institution and ask for? Yeah, the little blue bank book. Yeah, Jason. Well, hold on there. Where all of them money there? Hold on. Come to think of it, where is all of them money that we used to give? You say we get chopped. Chop it up. Yeah. But so I was saying, why don't these banks come into the school, teach the kids how to do a business plan, find out their business ideas, help them, and then give them loans that are managed by the bank that can turn around the businesses that they help them to establish. So we will have more for young people focusing on their education, of course, but creating businesses from their own passions and ideas. We keep on culturing our kids to go and work for people when they have inherent giftings and qualities. So you have a son who likes to take pictures, right? Why don't you get him into the photography business? Buy him a proper camera, go to the bank and say, listen, this is what the bank should be doing, instead of giving the kids them just bank book alone. I see where you love to take photograph. Right? Why don't you be your photographer and stuff? Maybe they like to draw stuff. You could actually draw those things and sell them. They could open a thing where they draw things for other kids in other schools who have projects. We are not training our kids enough. We're not investing in them to be business owners. We're culturing them to go to school, get degrees, which is good, and then go and work for people. There you go. Big up. This is same thing. Financial literature. It is important, not just to work for people, but to create their own wealth. Because here's the thing, parents, and I said to them, university at a minimum, right? At a minimum, university in Jamaica, tuition is going to be a minimum $1 million for the year, Jamaicans. At a minimum. All right? So if it is $1 million US for the year, you know that if your kids start from grade 6, so they're going to do PEP. If they can do a business that turn over $43,000 a month, watch this, and they keep on doing that, $43,000 a month, they can have $4 million by the time they finish high school to pay for 4 years, market inflation and all of that. But I'm just giving you ideas. So if you're in a Jamaican right now, all you need to do is to find something that your children can do where they're generating income. You end up not having to pay for their college tuition, So that money can be reinvested in the family for other things. Oh, the good boy, say him get back him money. All right. The good boy says, my mother followed up and collected mine when workers were changing over to RBTT Bank. All right. So you must understand that you are fortunate, be good boy. But you remember, see, a lot of people who were doing these things, a lot of them, probably their parents couldn't read and write. The parents were not like yours. A lot of us, our parents never followed up on those things. You are fortunate that you're in a situation like that. So it's not like people don't trust the system and stuff. The system was dealing with kids. The system should have ensured that they gave back the kids their money. The system had all of the kids' information and file. The system should have reached out to the kids. That is it. Hey, Jason, what ideas you have to share your story then? You have to share your story. You have to share. You cannot do that to kids. All right, so just tell me, Sir Michael, just tell me, man, which day you want to do it tomorrow? We can start set up some things, man. This is a good one right here. I was told at 20 that a degree is not a proven medal of success. Ambition and drive is everything. Hey, what I know about money now, I wish I knew when I was in high school. I would have been, so some of the things I did in university, because I realized that for me to make it through, I am going to have to, I used to call it hustle. And I realized that I had certain abilities that I could use to generate wealth or generate money to cover certain things. So I never had the burden of working to pay back student loan and all of those things. Because I figured that the best path for me is when you finish university, you don't have student loan. So do things that will help you to offset all of that. So Michael, we'll work on that. All right? Yeah, we'll work on that. So Michael says he does that now. So yeah, he's willing to share his expertise. You have to line up something. Yeah, yes, like, I mean, I don't know. Even if your daughter makes like cake, she can make some cupcakes and find a way of putting them out there. I know certain places it's more difficult to, redistribute certain things. But there are so many ways now that kids can be involved in generating wealth. Yeah. All right. All right. For all the people who are upset that we haven't talked to the football, finally we're going to get to some football, because the football is very difficult to talk about because it's very depressing time. At the start of the year, we had around 6 campaigns to look at. In terms of qualification. Now we have gone through 3. 2 we got eliminated in the early stages. Boss. Hey, no, Jason, so let me tell you this. All right, so with my son, sometimes they will say, like, yesterday, Gabby said she wanted to do a physiotherapist or a microbiologist. All right. So sometimes they'll say this, but as they progress, they will, be different. Like one of my sons, he plays the djembe drum, so he believes that he's going to be the world greatest. So I said, listen, that can be a stream of income, but it should not be your main source of income. So like, no, what I try to do is say, listen, you learn and you practice, because there may be events that people have where you can go and play. The next one, very good at playing keyboards and play by ear and can just listen and play. And I said, listen, all right, you begin to write some stuff and thing. You understand me? Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Look at this. Look at this. My daughter starting her YouTube talking about cosmetics. She has a plan. And it's there you go. That's what I'm so we have to like help our kids into this pathway. Because too often, but just what I'll say to you, so with the teaching thing, you may be able, so I have a son, right? One of them, and what he did, he started a group to help his friends study and prepare for exam. And so they have all his friends have been doing better. And so sometimes even those things they can do, because your daughter could be in university first year and be doing online classes teaching mathematics or different thing that she's strong in and be paid for doing it, you know. And maybe further down in her career, she goes into a different pathway or stream of work. So that is how I think we have to think as just Jamaicans to generate family wealth. So our kids are bringing in resources. We are bringing in resources. And so there are more resources at our disposal. Start a company, register it, and let them be a part of it. And so in the company, you offer like these cosmetic classes. In the company, you offer drumming. In the company, you offer keyboard playing. In the company, it's a company. So I am sure sports should be a company that my sons are a part of. And so when somebody wants to hire the one who play keyboard for keyboard, the contact, I am sure media as an example, and I am sure media provide them with those things. But yeah. But the football thing is very difficult, and let me just get back to that because we are, 1 hour and 49 minutes. 3 failures. 2, we didn't even make it to. So what do you think, people? Should I just complete the stream and then remove the football thing, and then we do the football thing either later or tomorrow and just deal with these 2 topics, don't it? Because we're going to rush through, because I got some information on these qualifications. Well, on these failures. Yeah, right? So maybe we should do that. What do you think, people? Just leave that now and focus on these things. That's true. All right, leave the football for tomorrow. Big Good says, I am sure the biggest mistake Jamaica ever made was not capitalizing and having English at our fingertips. We chose school and culture instead. You have to help me with this one. I'm not understanding this one. Be good boy. You have to help me to understand. Break this down. So get your kids, sit down and talk to them and say, listen, you have to begin to generate wealth, right? If you find like investment that they can do, like, if you're in Jamaica, for example, you have some US that your kids have, maybe them have family overseas that send US. Don't let them spend that. Tell them to find a way of putting that on an investment. Even if you don't, remember that the rate of the US is going to go up. So I think no, boss, I don't veer from the real thing. Social issue is part of the thing, Gunners, boss. What you talking about? We have not veered people. You didn't see the big old social thing. What we have not done is touch the other topics. You don't want to get stressed out by the football, man. We're giving us some updates, man. But we have some information that I think we need to really dive into and look at it. Teach them entrepreneurship. Please don't mention Veer. Well, Well, Lenny told her that him never tell her no. Lenny said it wasn't me. So we'll hear it. Man said it wasn't me. But so let me just run over these topics. We won't get in depth, but let me just tell you. So the 3 qualifications so far: U17 female, U20 female. Both did not advance to the second stage. U17 men, this would have qualified them. They did not. All right. And there's it's like lots of camps. Balance between local and overseas didn't work. All right. Limited amount of camps. Greater portion of domestic players than players from the diaspora. It didn't work. All right. One coach for over almost a 2 years period. It didn't work. A new coach brought in weeks before. It didn't work. All these things are showing us and teaching us that we need to really sit down, contemplate, consider how we're going to handle the 2 senior campaigns. It's not like these were distant failures. We were so close, but yet surf so far. Hello?
Thanks, man. How you doing?
I am Sir Cranky.
Yes, how you doing?
I am giving thanks, you know. You know I'm on a show, right? Because I have to make sure. You watching?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, me just start watch because I was in the gym working on my physical dimensions. So I just started watching. Yeah.
I did what?
I just come back from the gym and feeling pain, but feeling good pain. Feeling good pain.
I want to make sure.
Don't embarrass me. Don't embarrass my national TV. Don't embarrass my national TV. That's what you're saying.
No. I was saying that, in the New York, with the older folks of New York, and I always have to mention to them that you're live,
Even name Diego. Even name Diego. Name Diego, I'm a little bit more sophisticated, I think, when it comes to this forum. Since I'm also participating in this forum. How you doing?
Before the game says that you cannot turn back the clock. Well, no, it's not before the game. I call him before. I call him behind the scenes, right? Good.
By the way, people, before the game, and I are doing 2 shows later this week. Educational show on football. We're gonna do so when before the game, Thursday and Friday, I think it's gonna be. But I called him to say a couple of things. One is
first thing I want to ask him. Hold on. First thing I want to ask him on your show is tell him to name you the players who are better than soccer as right wingers in the world right now. That I want you to ask.
Wow, that's an interesting question. Right wingers.
Yeah.
Name comes to mind. What Lamar? Maybe up there with him. Not sure he's better, but there are a few players who are up there.
2. Only 2. Salah and Yamal. Nobody else. But anyways, you didn't call for that.
No, but we can talk about. I didn't call for anything specific. Just by the way, I'm doing a show this evening. By the way, people, we're not for watch show this evening. Fireman is back this evening. Fireman is back, and worse than ever. Hey, people, this evening show. Now I tell you, we are taking no prisoners. I don't think somebody called to me show last time. It's all worse this time.
Paul Edwards said me condemn with my thumbnail. Paul, I didn't call you the people had been going on this social issue with the housing project in Jamaica, Paul Edwards. Right? I didn't con you. I had all intentions of talking about the other things. But we're talking about the housing market and it affects people. So sometimes you have to deal with that, because there are people who are being burnt by this. So we have to pay attention to some of that. So we will cover it. But go ahead, Cranky. You're already listening to the housing part.
So you're using your thumbnail to deceive people, man's what I'm doing here.
That's what Paul Edwards says. I did talk
about. The thumbnail had nothing about social matters or real estate, right? It's a social issue at the end. No, you had social issue.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. So and
you put in the fine prints. You have in the fine prints. You have. If you read the fine prints, read the fine prints. No, but I'm doing a show this evening. You should watch my show, people. Trust me. Yeah. Even me, afraid I watch it. Me even afraid to do this show.
Oh, they're asking.
7 p.m.
What is the theme
7
for
p.m.
tonight?
No. I'm not watching. I'm put at the thumbnail in about an hour's time. You know, see. Me not pull no punches. You know what I mean, as a people? I'm going hard because hard is needed.
Yeah.
I'm dropping my thumbnail within an hour. I'm working on it right now. So I'll drop it. Somebody's man, how you doing? Can I text this man here back from me now?
Yeah.
Text about something. Me build me evidence.
Oh, no, man, I'll
This
call
evening
it.
show. That's what me text about something.
Oh, no, I
Yeah.
never see it. I'll call it
Yeah. But I just, as I said, people, I spend 2 hours in the gym each day now because I need to. My body says, you know what, you're not treating me right. So I've decided to give my body the attention it needs. And then I think about the rest of my day. And the next thing, I was on the phone this morning with a bunch of people. And I said, I have to do a show this evening. So people never watch the show. At 7 p.m., I drop some bombs. I drop one bomb.
Yeah.
I blew up the whole thing.
Yeah,
So what were you talking about real estate management? Are you trying to tell people that house is expensive?
So I was saying that I started out by talking about I don't know how much you know of Senton, but there's a place called Laughing Waters. It's on the way to Duns River. So on the other side is a highway. So all of that land was somehow given to the Chinese. I don't know, as part of them constructing the highway, they got a lot of the land on the highway. But we still pay for the highway, because remember that the highway was not done for free.
Yeah.
So now they are
So
doing.
you get the land plus tolls.
There you go. Anyways, I'm telling you, believe it or not. So the houses.
And somebody probably get some money on the side. But anyway,
yeah. So they have these houses that they are building, right? And they're starting like 2 bedrooms at $380,000, $380,000 which is like, you call it 60 million Jamaican dollars. All right. And I'm saying that is that really for the middle class Jamaican? Like, how can they be contributing to NHT? The total amount you get to borrow from the NHT, if you're a couple, is like 15 million. And then an average houses are for the cheapest house in some of these gated communities in Jamaica is for 30 million. So how it's not working out like this. And I'm saying that in the States, there are several places in the suburbs that you can get good houses for 380 million. That is on bigger land space, safer to live. And
where, like Bush?
No, man, you can get that out you can get these in Florida. When the houses were started in Port St. Lucie, they started at 360 million.
Management before COVID. Yes. Since COVID management, the world has changed. Almost every major metropolitan city is struggling with housing crisis. You go to London, you go to Tokyo, you go to Seoul, you go to Beijing, you go to New York, you go to Georgia. I didn't get to go to no town in Georgia.
No, but
housing crisis
but Jason just said that they can get houses in Georgia for 400.
You can get houses for 400, but it's not like before. It's not built right. First of all, I know the Georgia market. I've been looking down there for a house for a year and a half.
What do you mean they're not built right?
They're not built right. Look, Georgia was a market where you could really get nice houses for. Management, I trust me. I was down there when Jamaica played St. Louis. I was down there for like 2 weeks. When I went down there, my sister lives down there. My son lives down there, right? When you used to go to Georgia first, nice house management, 150,000, 200,000, say 8-9 years ago. Before COVID, I was looking at a house down there. Good house, 350, 400,000. Now, that same house price is 60% more markup, 70% more markup. The new houses they build, not the best houses. Not the best houses. And in Jamaica, you got to think about this management where it's supply and demand, right? So if they couldn't get the prices, they wouldn't be pricing them the way they are.
No, I agree.
Expect people to come back and buy houses, right? It's supply and demand.
Yeah, but Cranky, but most of the houses are not being bought by people in Jamaica because they can't afford it.
I know that's my. But if you're the builder, why do you care who buys your house?
No, I understand that, because supply is created by the demand, which determines price. All right. So I understand that.
No,
But
the demand sort of create the supply. The demand create the supply.
the demand
In a
creates the
sense. 'Cause you
supply,
know, buy the house,
and that sets the
yeah,
price.
yeah.
But what I'm saying,
Yeah.
remember, I am making contribution to a place that's supposed to provide housing solution. And even when that
Right.
institution builds a house, it is triple sometimes the amount that they are giving me as a loan to purchase the house.
But man, I should said the question. NHS can't afford to give you the money, but you need to build your house. You think NHS is that well situated?
NHT.
Is well NHT, yeah, the National Housing Trust.
Yeah.
You think NHT, you think them have enough money management to be able to provide the loan that you need to buy the house? They probably did some projections historical to figure out what they can afford per person for loans and realize, you know what? They're underfunded significantly.
Underfunded?
They can't afford to give you more than yes.
What I'm saying though is that, so when they themselves partner with other places, private people, to build houses,
Right.
it's still high. So they would use the contributions from the people to build houses that the people can't afford to buy.
Management is, I'm not going to blame the government for this. I'm just blaming supply and demand for this management.
Yeah.
That's why across the world people are complaining about all these things and they don't realize how markets work and how prices work.
Yeah. And
right?
the people are
if you have a stable, okay, tell me this management, why would I sell my house but it's on 280 when I can get a price for 280 for it? I'm the profit-oriented business. I'm not into being social or altruistic. I need to make money.
Yeah.
And get 280. It's a question, management. How much does it cost to build a house? Do we know that?
It depends. Listen, that depends. It depends on this. It depends on where. Understand me? It depends on where.
On cost of land, construction, engineer, is a bunch of stuff goes into it, right?
Yeah.
So the price. Here's the question. Before COVID,
these houses that they are building in these communities now. Listen, I have been close enough to know that the construction cost cranky is no more than 20 million Jamaican for most of them, and that is to finish it because of how they are done, because of they are 2 and 3 bedrooms. And I'm saying that even if there were $40 million, I understand. Some of these are for 60, 70, 80 million dollars.
Yeah, man, it depends, man. Look, sometimes people are greedy. The builders are greedy, management. But they can only be greedy if they can get what they ask for. If the house is not sell, and if they borrow money to build the house, they got to pay down on their loan. So they have to sell this. Some days they have fire sale. They're not having fire sale. Jamaicans who, I keep telling people this, the diaspora got money. They got money. And they want to come back home. So they want to buy the house. So if you're on the island, you're going to be disadvantaged. Right? You're going to be disadvantaged. You can't afford it. The wages there are not enough to pay for this. But if I'm a builder, I have to go where the money is.
Yeah.
I can't be saying, you know what, I just got to support the Jamaican community. I'm going to sell. None of us would do that. I can sell my house for 100,000. I'm going to take 50,000 for the house. That ain't going to work, man. Come on.
Yeah. I don't know. People are saying like Ocala is the next place that there is, and in Georgia, they're giving a lot of names. Is that Houston?
They might go in some bush management.
They said Georgia is a very big state. You have to say where.
Yeah, but management, most people go, there's a ton of Jamaican in Georgia management. Lawrenceville, Graveston, Suwannee, Stone Mountain management.
Yes, but they have
we can go to Fayetteville, we can go spread out management if we want to.
There's a Stone Mountain, Douglasville, Columbus.
Yeah, some people don't want to live in a place. Management. Some people don't want to live some place. Management. Jamaicans, let me say some people. Jamaicans like the nice things in life. Okay? They want to live in a nice neighborhood. We don't want to live everywhere. And if we dollar can't stretch, we all live in nice spaces. Most people who have kids, when I move to neighborhoods, especially in Georgia, where the school districts are good. And by the way, people, the school districts in Georgia, a lot of places are not good. Right? Those school districts are not the best. Trust me. Know this for a fact. So you want to go into the best neighborhoods,
in Georgia,
best school district. Yes, some of the districts are not good. The school districts are not good. Even the one with nice neighborhoods, some of the districts are not good. First thing you look at the ratings of the school. That's the first thing people do is look at the ratings of the school.
That's what I
know a kid down there, management. I have a kid though just moved down there, management, in New York. She's a very smart kid, right? But she wasn't so exceptional down here. They skip her 1 grade and put her in gifted class, management. That's how behind they are. Now, eventually they catch up, right? Eventually we get to college level, they catch up. Yeah. But her mom wanted to be in a school district where it's excellent, and she can progress. So people don't just think about the location, think about, is it the right school? Am I going to be safe? All the factors are going to things, man. That then drives the price of the houses because there's going to be more demand for the houses.
Yeah, but
Georgia's one of those states where everybody wants to go to. It's like Florida used to be. Georgia's one state. Georgia and North Carolina nowadays, man, and Texas, people are flocking
yeah, but
to those
because
states.
all right, so in Mansfield, in Mansfield, I mean, proper houses were there and the schools were good school, Mansfield High. It was in that area. I know, like, and you could get house for the same money. I'm telling you, $380,000 US dollars.
Well, Jamaica, listen, I was looking at a house in Jamaica. I thought about one time to buy a house in Jamaica, right, man? But couldn't I just the price them? Not to know that. Really?
But is that so? But you agree with the price when you consider what you pay for a house in Cranky. When you consider what you pay for a house and what you get in the USA, in comparison to what you're being asked to pay in Jamaica for what you're going to.
Management. Depends on where in the USA. I'm telling you, New York is ridiculous.
Maybe New York is not, because New York is one of the major cities.
South Florida is becoming now ridiculous. So I remember mom went to Florida in the 90s, man. I bought her a house, it was $175,000. That house is now $700,000, man. So I'm saying, and it's not even that huge a house, Mannings. It's not even that huge. It's not even like the house where you say, you know what? Boy, this house is ridiculous. There were houses then selling for like $250,000, which today is $1 million. That's just over 20 years ago.
The other thing, like
the house is out of control.
In the States, right? Do essential workers like soldiers and police when there's a housing development, do they get a special buy-in or get them at lower prices?
No, you get no lower prices.
Really?
You have things like the VA. They have VA loan. So you have VA loan. If you're a veteran of the Army, you can get some loan through the VA organization, which may first-time home buyer make some lower prices. But in general, no loss allocation being had. Maybe some states, I don't know all the states' laws. Some states may have that. And they have house buying programs for first-time home buyers and all that.
Right.
And banks will you got to back to the banks, but I don't know if you have special construct where police and soldiers.
And they build certain houses for like army. I don't know if they call them army houses, but like for personnel serving in the army. Like I know, like in Delaware, they have a lot of those houses were built. So if you're in the army, you can get to buy in those communities. They call them army houses. They have some of them in Wilmington.
No, they have housing that's beside army bases like Fort Dix, New Jersey, Fort Bragg, whatever they are, used to be. Doesn't mean it's as special for them. It means they may build up the houses and they buy into those houses. But you don't have these special programs people think of that make allowances for some designated groups per se in that context.
I honestly think though, like this housing is a problem in Jamaica. Like for rent.
The housing problem, people say this. If you go to London, for example, you know how much people room in London, man? You have 4 or 5 people in a 4 or 5 bedroom house, they have to share the amenities in the house. It's a regular thing nowadays in major cities. Jamaica problem is a problem where population growth, coupled with lack of housing being built, create over demand, and you have prices go up, and people have to find ways to live. When we had COVID, all people moved to Florida when we have COVID because DeSantis never have no COVID restrictions. Plus, people want to move out of the cities to spread out. South Florida rent double in some places. You go Miami, you can't rent none because the rent double. Landlord kick out people them house.
Yeah, but
rent go up 60-70%.
I don't think we can use places like LA, Miami, and like and like New York. But like,
management, I said that's attractive management. Said that's attractive parish, right?
But Cranky, upstate, there are places if you go like up in Newburgh.
If you go Albany, Syracuse, yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But nobody know I live there.
What do you mean?
Nobody want to live at Buffalo, where cool and you have shovel stone all day. No, nobody want to live there, management. You can go live there. Me not live there. Me not go Buffalo go live, management. Me not go Albuquerque live. Sorry.
I can understand the city. So if you're going to live in New Kingston, I can understand that. But the person now who is living like, Lawrence Tavern and those places, I don't know. Something has to be done because too many people are going to to not be able to afford houses in Jamaica, which is I know you're saying that it's right across probably the world where housing solution is a problem.
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad. Honestly, it's bad. And look. Somebody mentioned Manly and Manly social programs. That's where you had the housing schemes probably come from way back when. That's how Portmore and the place was built, right? Government don't underwrite those things that they used to. They probably should, but they don't. In New York, what they did is, in New York, they changed all the zoning laws. So you can only have one family house. Now you see high rise everywhere, like in Brooklyn where I live, for example. They had restriction. You can't build over a certain level. Here in rights, they've changed all of that. You can build anywhere you want to build because we have housing crisis, right? But in Jamaica, if you need to build up more and stop building flat, build up some more. They're doing some of that, but you got to build up higher.
I said, but you're saying that Toronto is getting ridiculous as well. So he says a lot of people are moving out of Toronto to Alberta. So maybe
management is not surprising. Management is global. It's global, and people don't think so. They're not thinking about what's happening across the world and how this is affecting the regular consumer. People are struggling management globally. You know, you hear people in the US complain that the reason why Kamala lost is because of the economy. That's part of it. There are other factors at play. But people are having difficulty buying eggs. They use eggs as the perfect example, right? It's egg shortage depends on a number of different things. But in Jamaica, for example, most people own them house outright now. People never used to borrow money for build house management.
Yeah, that's more in the rural. That's back in the day when your grandmother have a piece of land and you just come and build something behind it.
Everywhere, man. It used to be everywhere. It used to be everywhere.
No.
You know, people in Jamaica don't buy a house. People in Jamaica buy a house now, they buy cash. 200,000, 300,000, 400,000, they buy cash management. Then I buy now house for no mortgage on it. I buy cash money. Buy cash. But at the end of the day, Mannings, I would agree with you that we have to think about the general society at large, not just those who can afford certain things. Correct. And the question, how do you make the country viable for everybody? By the way, management,
teachers can buy a house in Jamaica. You know that teachers can buy a house.
That's why they migrate. But it's true. It's true, management. People have to look to some place where they can actually have the life they aspire to have. And they watch enough TV and see people live big life. And they want to see a big life people live, right? Everybody want to see a big life, right? And if you're in Jamaica, you're struggling, you're in some place you rent every day, you can't see the future, you have to go someplace else. The question, management, is no election time. What's the government doing? Because they have to do things around election time. Huh? What's the government doing?
Fight crime.
What do you mean fight crime?
Well, you know that
they might lose the crime battle, They might lose the crime battle, So
really?
they can't fight it.
Well, you know what? Crime has decreased all across the country, except that police shootings have been like one a day from the start. So every day. So
they get that big down. There used to be 3 a day.
No,
I did this study the management.
Police, no man, not police shooting. Meaning that when police.
No, management. I'm telling you, management. Police killed 1,000 some people last year.
Police.
That's about 3 a day. Yes.
No man, that's a total crime stats, man.
What do you mean? Police was killing as much people as the regular people were killing.
No man, that's wrong.
Management, I'll show you the stats. I'll get the stats here.
I'll
get the stats here.
No, man.
Police were killing as much people as the regular people on the road were killing. Police are different. Management, stop saying no. Are you going to do the research? Okay.
I have to see that first. But the
police management was killing people 10 times the rate as the US. Let's check. I think the US killed as much people as Jamaica did. The US population is 100 times Jamaica population.
No, I think.
Management. Let me say this again.
Yeah.
The police in Jamaica, my understanding was, I'm going to look at the stats again, they kill as many people, almost as many people as the US kill, and the US population is 100 times the Jamaica population. That's what I understand.
Well, that may be true, but what I know is that in terms of crime, murders across Jamaica, we're over 1,000 and odd. 1,000, I think, is the lowest it has been in quite a while.
1,000 people get killed last year. Yes, 1,000 something people.
Right, but not the police. Normally, you don't have anywhere close to that in terms of police.
Shootings.
Right. So what I'm saying though, because this year, even the Jamaican for Justice and all of those things have been coming out complaining because every single day for the start of the year, at least one person has been, killed by the police. But Peter said that.
But police them judgment, them like kill people. Them like kill people. Like kill people.
But
We know some don't like me saying thing, you know, some people get vexed me saying thing, but them like kill people. You know, some people, some people, your policeman, your friend, them, you know, them like, hey, this is a boy cranky like with it. No, them like kill people. Them like kill people.
Yeah.
Them do it. Them not carrying, you know.
You know, no, but
Them not carrying,
that is because though in the States, like a person trusts the system to be carried in. In Jamaica, think the criminals don't think the system is fair enough for the confront.
Yeah. I wonder why that is. I wonder why that is. Eh? You think that man just want to get killed, so?
But Peter,
I'm going to go to them days of glory because he know it don't work.
Peter says that teachers can buy houses in America, so maybe it's not just Jamaica. He said teachers can buy houses in America.
It depends. It depends on where you are. It's right. In New York, teachers struggle to buy houses in New York. New York, it's bad. It's bad. So it's a global phenomenon. You can always find pockets where things are better, but it's a global phenomenon. If you go to, I'm sure if you go to Lagos, for example, living in Lagos in Nigeria, it's probably very, very similar, right? That's why you have so much poverty in the cities. But people want to be in the cities because the cities have jobs. I think most of the jobs are. So I go live in the rural area, man, no job, can't pay for nothing.
Yeah.
Rent in New York for a 3-bedroom nowadays is the city give you about $3,800.
I think cranky. I think you can. I think New York is maybe one of the most expensive city for everything in all of America. I don't know if it is the best example.
So what city you want to use? What city you want to use? So New York have most of the job them in a management. Yeah, most of the job them in.
So let's
go to
Alabama.
Right. It's much cheaper there. It's much cheaper.
There. Baltimore. There you go. But that is the thing. You know?
No, wait. Where in Baltimore we talking about? Prince George's County in Maryland? Are we talking about Baltimore where crime is prohibited? Crime is everywhere. What are we talking about, people? Eh? You want to go in the rich black people them live at Prince George's County, or you want to go in Baltimore where you have to duck when you got your house? We don't understand. Right? People want to feel safe, man. They want to feel safe. Affordability and safety are paramount for anybody in any country. But every man is a good example for you in terms of crime being reduced is El Salvador. I think they had 128 murders last year.
Yeah, but here's the issue I have. Because I have an issue with what? No, I do believe that, and I'm glad that the crime rate is down. But it cannot be that the way to get crime down is to as people are saying, analyze people these days. Because at the same time...
What do you mean analyze people? What do you mean analyze people?
They call, in Jamaica now, they say analyze them. Analyze.
Analyze. The YouTube term. Okay.
Yeah, the YouTube term. So my thing is that the police, if they are confronted, I want them to come out on the victorious side. But in all of this, there is the possibility that persons who are not involved in these things, right, end up dying innocently. So you cannot say the JFJ needs to go at this time, because the truth is we have to have a body there that ensures that the police, in carrying out their duties, are not taking innocent life. So they are, but they need to fight crime and come out victorious. So I don't know, that balance has to be...
the culture has to change, man. You have to change the culture. And that's a whole generational change. You have to change the culture, man. The culture that incorporates a lot of different factors, because crime, what's the root cause of crime in Jamaica? Do we know what the root cause is?
The root cause of crime in Jamaica.
Yeah.
I think it's multifaceted. I think a lot of it has to do with education, lack of resources. I think it has to do with, there's not enough to engage and employ our youngsters meaningfully. It means that it's not that jobs are not out there, but I know young men now and young women who I tell them that they're wasting their time because they're paying to work. What I mean by that is that when they get their pay, I'm telling you, at a fortnight, all of that pay goes back into their bus fare and like lunch for work. So they have to borrow money sometimes to end up going to work. So I keep on asking, so why are you going? Because it's costing you to go to work.
So my nephew was working at a job as an accounting clerk, right?
Yes.
My nephew was working at a job as an accounting clerk. And he told me how much he's made. And I made him quit. That's like, I sent him back to school. I was like, you know what? That's a waste of your time. You ain't going nowhere. You're going to be in this dead-end job for the rest of your life. That doesn't work. So, plus, you want to send him to school, but it's important because, as you're saying, there was no future there.
Yeah.
You were just working for sustainability, just to live, just to exist, which is nonsense. You have to see a path where you know you're going to make progress and improve your financial situation and get better. That wasn't there. So here's the question, management.
What you
if
think
you want
is,
to change the dynamics of the environment,
you need to answer it. You know what you think is the main source.
So there are multiple factors. I'm gonna be like them sociologists. DNA may be a factor. DNA may be a factor. We're just too aggressive. There are a lot of different factors, right? Like you said, there's education, there's a lack of industries and opportunities. There is the whole culture and the aggressive nature of people. Because they're poor countries, there are people poor in the world and human crime management. Go India. You know what? You're not worried when you go India, you have a duck in a certain neighborhood management. They don't have them thing there. They have crime there, but a different type of crime. There's the availability of guns management. It's a big factor. So even though guns may not be the root cause management, it's such a huge symptom that it almost becomes a root cause. Because you don't have the gun, you can't shoot people management. If you look at Europe, like in England, where poverty is ravaged certain areas in England, they have night crimes management. But the implication is much less than if you have the guns. They don't have the ability to be guns there, so you can't commit the gun crimes. So the fundamental core social factors, like education and all that, is instrumental in terms of affecting one's ability to generate income, which may affect crime. But the availability of guns, which is pervasive, is a major contributor. And also, the tolerance to people like Dans in your community. El Salvador is not the model to deploy and employ, but it's an example of where the president, who is young, decided they won't lock up anybody who are affiliated with crime and gangs. They built new prisons for them. They have 80,000 people in prison, management. The crime went from 6,000 something about, say, 7, 8 years ago per year to 128 this year. His approval rating is 80%. Jamaica needs a hybrid of that. Not the exact same things. I'm not believing in violent people human rights, but you have to be intolerant at the same time have other social programs to mitigate this. You can't keep doing the same thing over there. Management keep complaining and not doing about it.
Yeah, but what I want to know is like the people in the upper echelon of the El Salvadorian society, were they also incarcerated where corruption was evident? Because here's the problem.
I haven't heard about that.
Here's the problem we have in Jamaica is that sometimes it is the people at the what they call the lower end of the food chain that end up getting killed, getting incarcerated, and the people at the top of it who are influencing it continue. So it's almost like the people who run the machinery are right, which includes, I think, people in political offices and in some of the major industries in our country.
So you need a combination of the Singapore model and the El Salvador model.
Yeah, where you have to root out corruption.
Yeah, so Salvador is where I wrote a program on that, and I haven't really put it out there yet. In Singapore, for example, they have it's an autocratic rulership, so it's not a democratic. It's autocrats who sort of run Singapore. But what they've done is they are focused on the core and STEM, for example, in the education arena, because it's not necessarily a country that had all these natural resources, you know. Right?
Yeah.
It's a very service-oriented industry. But what they have also done is every year a politician probably go to jail.
That's what I'm saying.
So they've made corruption a focus, and then you know if you're corrupt and you do things, you'll go to jail. Unlike Jamaica, where if you are some people like I keep mentioning this one person who did the track at JC from 2019, in involved in something, to 2025, nothing not going on. They wear you out. They extend it, and then people lose consciousness and then move on. That's what I'm doing. They're smart about that. So the people also have a input in this. So they got to try to figure out. They have a push for immediacy of resolution of these matters. Somebody can't commit crime and just allow them to just exist in a society. Like SSL, for example. Did somebody tell me the SSL person, they are Canada? You know, man? Is that way true?
Yeah.
What do you think if you go on, man? I mean, I arrest one small little person who's a clerk, and say she did the work right.
You see what that, which is what I just said earlier. A lot of times the people at the top of the food chain are not affected by whatever measures. So what do you think is going to happen, like you just said? 5 years from now, they could get back into something else and continue to do it. It's
it's you said this, man. We need to lose a generation. That sounds so terrible. You have to lose a generation, man, that has been messed up to
which
get
one
to
of the generation? The 80s, the 70s, or the 90s?
No. We have to start with, so okay, let's say we start with the kids at 5-year-old, and we are re-educating them and re-engineering what we're doing. So when they get to adulthood, they're in a good place, right? But at the same time, you're not giving up. Say, don't give up on the generation. You try to make inroads, but you know it's not going to be material. But you're still trying. But the education component is material in changing how people think, operate, feel, what their values are, integrity. All that as a part of the whole equation to help the society to change.
Yeah. A lot of people believe
and
that
right now, it's a challenge society. A
lot of people believe that a lot of the issues are caused by the people from 1980 to 1988, like right before Gilbert, that generation of people.
Yeah.
Because we talk about that election in the 80s, and I think
the 80s election was detrimental to the country.
Yeah, a lot of people.
The 80s election, man, is by the way, people, here's another thing too.
I don't know about
America.
I don't know much about that.
Man, America. You're trying to say you're young. America is the problem we had, man, was trying to do the right thing, but the big Goliath decided that, you know what, I will destroy the country to allow you to do what you want to do, which was good for the country, you know. It's the same socially, economically, we need to be responsible for each other. We need to help our brothers and sisters. We need to give people a decent way of living. And we had an American who was on the other side, born in Boston, who had the CIA behind him, who wasn't having that. So both sides are bringing guns and destroy the country. And we haven't fully recovered from that. People go check the exchange rate for Jamaica back in the 70s versus Jamaican dollar. What is this today? People need to do them history, you know, because in the history, you realize, damn, we have gone south versus gone north, and we go in the wrong direction. And the question, and even though money is flowing into the island, you know, money is flowing to Jamaica right now. It's not flowing in the right way. It's not Jamaica creating industries and generating profits and generating income. It's tourism money, expat money, diaspora sending back money to build stuff. Management, that's not sustainable, because there's something they call in finance keeper's dependency, or when you have most of your income from one source, management, that's not a good thing. If America belch, Jamaica feel pain. That can't be the case, by Jamaica diversify your income stream. That's why you trouble about Jamaica, China become out Jamaica. No. China be not Jamaica. China be not Jamaica. America be not Jamaica. Europe be not Jamaica. I mean, nobody tells you if China become out Jamaica. You have to find a way to. It didn't work for us then, because money get burned by America. Be smart about how you do it, but you need everybody to help you increase your. By the way, management, my last point is this. When somebody comes to your country, management, to do something, make sure you do something that's sustainable, management. I mean, them come to your country and pull out your resource, and you have not visual fee.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So you got to make sure they build industries, factories, they build things that are going to be long-lasting and can help with employment, generate income. They build industries which are futuristic. Don't just come in and take your land and give you some good road and then give some toll and them good. No, that can't work, management.
It is so funny. I'm going to talk about that today. But Ernie says that it started from in the 70s, not in the 80s. So, I was too young.
Well, maybe the 70s, but Manley was trying to do things from the 70s. I did a program on Latin management. I did that. And actually, it was a very good video. I got about 3,400 views. I did a comparative between the situation with Trump now and man the 70s and the CIA and the US. I did a program. People go watch the program, people. Educate yourself. Go watch the program. Go watch it.
So you say
46 minutes of good watch.
You said 7 o'clock tonight?
7 p.m. this evening, people. Come watch the program. Yeah. Come watch it. We're not take no prisoners. In fact, I may have to go hide when we're done. But you know them thing go, you can't stay afloat sometimes. 7 o'clock this evening, people, may I do a show. In fact, may I write the thumbnail right now. Some people will hate me, but hey, everybody can love you.
Read,
Thanks,
Born
man.
for
It's fun
Dead.
having me.
Yeah, man. Cranky every time. All right, big up yourself.
Bless up.
So 7 o'clock Cranky Live this evening. All right, we'll be over there. All right, people, I'm going to leave you now, but I won't be doing tomorrow. I'm going to remove all of these things and do the social issues to change up the thumbnail, right? But I'm not going to. There's the next important part of the development because I already have told you about the traffic, and more units are being built before the road to accommodate the traffic is established. And that is what I think we do sometimes. We work in reverse, but we're going to talk about it next time. There's EPL games on today, so make sure you tune in and watch them. Brighton versus Bournemouth, Crystal Palace, Aston Villa, Chelsea, Southampton, Wolves, Fulham. And then the games for tomorrow, we'll see Tottenham versus City, Brentford, Everton, Man U, Ipswich, Nottingham Forest, Arsenal, and then Thursday, Liverpool, Newcastle, West Ham versus Leicester. In the JPL last night, Mount Pleasant drew with Mobile United. Massive game. They had to open the second part of the stands down there in Montego Bay, the bleachers, because the grandstand was packed to capacity. And in the early game, Veer lost to Arnett Gardens by 2-0, and so they're still down there at the bottom of the table. We spoke about champs, and I see Chris Wynn talking about it. It's going to be a very exciting champs. The stadium surface has not. They have moved Carifta trials to GC Foster College because they're going to start the work on the National Stadium, and we're going to try to get a representative from Cavaliers tomorrow, because the refurbishing of the stadium now is starting late. Will that impact the March 13th Caribbean Club Championship game that they have? We are going to discuss that. And we're just talking about just not even the pitch yet, just the stadium itself. Then we need to, given what we saw at the pitch at Gibson Relay, will that be passed for the game? We don't know. So we'd like to speak with representative of Cavaliers to kind of hear what is going on where that is concerned. We're going to talk about, just to let you know, I've reached out to the coach of the U17 team, Coach Freddie Butler. As you know, that he did state that there are some issues that he's dealing with, challenges on his side where his family is concerned, and there are some important dates for him to deal with some things where that is concerned. But he did say that he will speak to the people and be open to even answer questions once he has dealt with this matter in a couple of weeks, because he believes as a coach that is fair and the right thing to do. All right. I am hoping that we can hear from Coach Lee Craft Letman upon his return. Right? About this team failing to qualify. We want to know, given that this has happened, what is the plan for the U20? Because at the youth level, that is the only thing we have left. What are we going to do? Is there a coach? Who is the coach? And when will the preparation start? All right. So we're going to get into some of those things. But it has been a very, very good show. For those of you who wanted to hear about football only, and you have not heard about it or enough about it, my apologies. It was never my intent. I know some of you were probably being sarcastic, but I don't come on to deceive. That is why I use one thumbnail every single time. So you know that I'm not trying to win you over by what is on the thumbnail, but in the title and the description. All right. Yeah. you see other things. But thanks to every single one of you. Thanks to my two faithful subscriber, Miguel, who gave a super sticker, El Grand Hero, also with a super chat. Really appreciate it. Also want to say a big thank you to everyone who has watched the video. Thank you to everyone who has liked the video. Thank you to those who have subscribed to the platform for the first time. Thanks to everyone who has shared the content. Support the other vloggers. Show them some love. I know Dre is over on TikTok now, but like Jason Guna, I think, and this is just my opinion, I think when it comes on to like EPL and providing stats and information of the clubs, the players, and what is happening, Jason Guna presents some of the best material of all the vloggers who are out there now. Give him some support. And sometimes when I watch it, it's 10 and 15 and 25 of us and think watching it live, I know he does, you know, he does at different times, but support him. Cranky will be on, support him. You know that Coach Minzy, it's track and field time, so you'll be seeing him. Even more so support him. BAM Sport always providing transfer information. No send them over there. If them not sending gifts, I'm going to block them. Dre said, don't come over TikTok if you don't have gifts to give him. JT, although I haven't watched one of his shows, I see Ryan doing more shows now than before. JD, I think we max it. Presser, he wasn't here today. Knockins, Jam PL fan, Good Youth, you know, Unseen Sports TV, so many, right? So show some love and support them. And yeah, continue to be good. Remember, sometimes what people meant for evil against you, God can use it for your own good. When they throw limes at you, make lemonade. I am Manning's man. This has been I Am Sure Sports, and as usual, when it comes to the end of our show, we say we're over and we are out of here.
You know what about dog? SK New Erdis, the body out there, Sniper King I represent for I Am Sure Sports. You get to me, I say, when you want the latest news and sports and updates and all of that, check out I Am Sure Sports. You know the thing goes in. Remember, cover the whole island. Remember Kingston, Westmoreland, Galchester, Ocho-Race, Galtigo Bay, everywhere. I Am Sure Sports. Check it out for the latest news and latest updates. Sniper King I represent. Where them feel like, yeah, someone known for the food from young, from where they knee height. I Am Sure Sports. Yeah, dog.